Hi, this is Sri from TechieTalksAI. Welcome to the Arduino series. In this one, we will connect the encoder to our DC motor so that we can synchronize the speed. Left and right motors will turn at the same speed so that the car goes straight. That is important. This functionality is accurate functionality. That is, it will not drift because we are actually counting the number of turns each DC motors make and then adjust its speed. Like I said before, DC motors cannot have same speed under their stepper motors or BLDC motors. Whereas normal DC motors, these are toy DC motors, where the mechanical properties, number of turns, magnetic strength, all these will change. So the speed will be different. So we will see how we make that uniform. So this is the actual device, speed sensor module, and one is an LED that transmits light across to the receiver on the other side. If any obstacle comes between, this light falling on the receiver will be interrupted. In this picture, we have A0, which is the analog output, okay, which we don't want. We have D0, and that is what we will use. And then, of course, ground and plus 5 volt. So these are the three connections that we need to make this module work. Okay, we will see in detail how this is connected and how it works. So again, this is the module. It has got ground A0, D0, VCC. So this actual module pin numbers are different from the picture that you're seeing. Okay, so make sure that you connect it as per the picture. So now the connection we will see, but after we connect from the, do you see a black disc here? That disc has got slots. So when the motor turns, do you see this green light blinking? Depending on the slots getting interrupted, so make sure that when you, after you connect the module and give its ground and plus 5 power, turn the wheel so that that black disc rotates, and whenever the slit comes, the green light will blink. Okay, that confirms that mechanically and electronically the module is working. So that is the first thing that we need to do. And then let me keep this on the box so that it won't roll away. After our calibration, we can make sure that the wiring is tidied up. Okay, so let's now go step by step and see how we can calibrate. Now I will upload a test code to confirm that the encoder readings are working correctly for the correct motor. Because when we connect it, we can make a mistake that the right encoder is connected to the wrong pin, that is left input. Okay. Okay, I will take the serial monitor and see here. I am turning the right wheel so that the right encoder is showing us changing numbers, incrementing numbers. You see this? Which means the correct encoder is connected. And now let me turn the left encoder. So it is important that we check the connection this way. So step by step we build so that fixing errors will happen much earlier. Okay, otherwise after wiring everything and tidying up the cable, etc., when we find that something is wrong, it becomes very difficult for us to fix it. Okay, so now that is done. Now here is the final code where in this code, car will move straight. We will later test it in our maker lab floor. Okay, currently it will be here only. Okay, both motors now are moving at the correct speed. So how does this happen? So let's go over the code from the top. I will stop. I will upload an empty script to stop it for now. Now let's look at the code. These are pin definitions, which we know. This is how we have connected in last episode also. So here we have two pins connected to enable A and enable B of the driver. Now these are pulse width modulation signals. So 0 to 255 values we can set to change the pulse width like this. Sorry, the amplitudes are all narrow pulse width. If it is 0 and fully filled pulse width for 255. So this way we can adjust the voltage, average voltage going into our driver. Okay, so driver's average voltage be controlled by controlling the enable A and enable B pins pulse width. Encoders are connected to pin 2 and 3 and they're defined as input that we will see. And then here we are doing a very important thing. We are defining ISR. ISR stands for interrupt service routine. Interrupt service routine, that is, whenever left interrupt happens, this left count will be incremented. Whenever right interrupt happens, right count will get incremented. How the interrupts will happen? See here. See a complicated looking line. Here, attach interrupt, digital pin to interrupt left encoder. So the left encoder's pin, whenever it goes low, that is falling from high to low, that left interrupt service routine will be called and that increment that counter. Clear? So whenever the left encoder pin goes low, it will call this left interrupt service routine and execute this left count plus plus. Clear? Still, we haven't reached the motor control yet. We are only created two independent counters which will actually count the number of turns each corresponding wheel makes. Okay, let me ask you one question. If right wheel is turning fast, what will happen? Right count will increment faster, right? Or if left wheel is turning fast, left motor is turning fast, left counter will be incrementing faster than the right counter, correct? So these two counters, so these values left count and right count will indicate directly the speed at which the wheels are turning. Okay, so let's see now where to make use of it. So starting and stopping the motors are similar to last episode, but here what we are doing is, see, we are defining one interval milliseconds. So 120 milliseconds, every 120 milliseconds, we will check the values and correct the speed of the motor. Okay. So if we have reached the time to correct, we will enter this if condition. We see no interrupts when we call, it will temporarily stop the interrupts. Then we are loading left value and right value counts. After reading the values to these capital L and capital R, we reset the left and right counters back to 0 so that it can freshly begin counting when the interrupt resumes. Okay, so then here we are resuming the interrupt. So we stop the interrupt, read the values into two variables, L and R, and after that we resume the interrupts. Okay, so that counting can continue. And then what we are doing is, one correction factor is there, that is to manually correct if left and right motors are way different. That you can ignore it for now. So here, this is the most important line. Here we are subtracting R from L so that so we will get the speed difference. Okay. So that is the error, and that error we multiply with a factor to amplify the error or make it less significant. And then here, see here, this is what is adjusting the right and left wheel speeds. So left pulse width modulation, we adjust it between these two values. Okay. So left PWM is loaded here, right PWM is loaded here, and it is set proportionally a value between this and this. And these two numbers are done through trial and error depending on the mechanical properties of the motor. This motor that I'm using are having genuinely different speeds. So you need to do a trial and error to get the correct number so that we get this bottom range for these numbers. So I will show you how I got that number. That is where we control the speed. That is it. That is this project. We will upload a simple script which will set pulse width modulation signal of 170 to both the motors. Okay. No encoder is needed in this calibration. We are only checking the native speed difference of the two DC motors. Now I will upload this. If you notice, this right motor is moving much faster than this. So if you put this on the floor, you will notice that it is going in an anti-clockwise direction. So right motor, I will reduce the speed. Okay, that is too low. Okay, so like this, set the value to ensure that we are able to manually get an approximate straight path for the car. So these are the two numbers that we will need in our calibration in the encoder-based code that we just saw. So that is it for this. We are almost ready to place the car on the floor and do the final testing. But before that, we will need to place the ultrasonic sensor so that it can avoid obstacles. So see you in the next episode. Bye bye.